Welcome back, everyone, and we're about to head into level 2. Let's go down the stairs and find out what we find. Last time I was getting ready to talk about Fate, where I was making sure I said that I meant Fate the video game, and I forgot to say what I meant as opposed to what, is that there's also a pen and paper RPG called Fate, and it is completely different. It has nothing to do with the type of stuff you see in the Diablo style game.
You have gained in experience.
Alright, I click on my stats up and skill up buttons on either side of the screen to apply my newfound wisdom. But first, I'd like to take care of some monsters. To make sure I don't get attacked at the time. And when I do that, I'll get a nice... Ooh, ouch. This is not good. Whoops! It's a bit tougher when you're in hard mode.
You have triggered a trap.
Ouch. Alright! That wasn't... I almost got myself killed there. Let's see if I'm trying to clear out this entire area. I'm going to try to do this at distance. If I click shift when I shoot, then I'll stay in put and just... Oh yeah, it looked like another trap there. Now, Fate the pen and paper game, that's, as I said, a very different game than this is, in that it's a RPG that very strong on the role-playing elements, and it uses the what's known as fudge dice. So some people are calling them fate dice these days, since fate is the one that's currently is the successor to fudge, and the idea is you have two sides with plus, two sides with minus, and the other side blank, so it's not your standard type of dice that you would have. Now right here's a fishing hole. I'm going to show you how to fish now. The idea, you see this thing go in and out, and when it, like that, you get a fish. In this case, it's a grouper jelly, and this gets thrown into my fish area, and if I right click on it, it transforms my pet into a gel for 120 seconds. So I just right click on it, and my dog here will turn into a jelly. Now, there are different types of monsters you'll turn on to depend on the level of the fish, and it'll depend on what monster it turns you into. A bat fish. I presume that it's going to turn my pet into a bat. Into a Varkalin for 120 seconds. And also later on start to have longer periods in which you stay in that particular monster type. Now I know that in Fate you used to have some that would be permanent. I don't know if this game has permanent ones, or if that's the concept that was dropped for this game. So obviously as webfish, I guess it makes sense it'll be a spider. I'll just get a couple of them. You don't need to do all the fish. I'll see if I get 5. So that's a muckfish. I'll get one more. That'll be enough fishing for now then. Oops. Oh, for a moment there I thought I was just a little bit late, but looks like I still got it. So I got 2 muckfish. and that gives me a pet goblin hound for 126. Okay, so I get a goblin hound. Alright, now anything else that's interesting? I don't think so. Oh, but I do have stat points. You have new stat points to distribute. Click the button next to each attribute to improve that aspect of your character. You also have a new skill point that may be used to improve your skills. So here are the skill points and here are the stat points. Now, different players, I'm sure, have different ways in which they like to do these things. Now, my main attribute as an alchemist is obviously magic, and weapon elemental damage that I inflict is based on this skill. So this is obviously one I want to pump up. Usually I like to have a little bit extra defense, like to go up a little bit on the others, just to make sure I meet prerequisites for weapons and the like. But I'm sure that there are some players that might just dump everything into magic. But since I'm playing hard mode, I want to have maybe a little bit extra in the others. Now here, I have 3 spells, 3 categories: an arcane tree, a lore tree, and a battle tree. And the arcane tree is where I have my one thing already, Ember Bolt, so I can pump this up a little bit, and if I pump it up a little bit, it does considerably more damage, it looks like, than it does currently. And the other possibility is magic weapons expertise, mastery of wands and staves, reduced requirements for rings and amulets. Alright, and therefore -1 to mage equip requirements and +4% mage weapon damage. I do more damage and easier to get some items. Now at this level, that's probably important, since I'm going to constantly be running into things that are going to be maybe about 1 level higher than I am. Alright, so now I want to continue with this. Alright, and give myself some elemental protection before I continue on. And alright, now, what dropped here? A smart leather belt, +2 mana. That's good to have. Alright, that requires a defensive 8. That requires level 2, but I have a level 2 now, so I can wear that. And a frost scepter, but it looks like my moldy staff is better than that. So this one also does ice damage. Okay, it does ice damage while I'm currently doing poison damage. Oh, but the scepter is a one-handed weapon. So what I'm going to do is I am going to equip that into my other hand, just in case I get something. Ooh, rock troll. Yeah. Trolls are nasty to fight. Let me put my... Let's have a look at this map. Yeah, pretty early on in my exploration of this level. Whoops! I'm finding I'm using potions a lot more than I use them in normal mode. I guess that makes sense, because in normal mode, I very rarely needed to resort to potions. So therefore I tend to stack up piles and piles of extra potions. But here obviously hard mode seems to use a little bit more on your resources. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, there wasn't a monster behind there.
My mana is low.
Yeah, okay. Alright, there we go. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a vest, which this one's socketable, so therefore there's an advantage to the one I've just got. And I think that takes care of everything. I'm wondering, is there actually something here and they don't tell you, or what? I didn't know where that boots came from. Alright. That was a rather interesting door. Nothing behind it. Oh, town portal spell. Alright. Or scroll, actually. Oh. Ah, here's Brink. Found him. Hello.
Did Syl send you after me? She must have thought I was in over my head again. Well, she's right. These monsters are getting stronger and I could use your help. I'm going after the fiend that was attacking Syl on the bridge. Will you join me?
Alright, so we accept this quest and follow him around. So he follows you around instead of you following him, which is though of course, as usual in these games, he will I'm sure he'll get himself into some sort of trouble. Oh, I've used up all my potions. Ouch. Alright, that's something I'm not used to doing in these games, because usually 28 damage per second, fire, 15 to 29, slow speed attack, socket 0-2, requires level 1. More important thing, this is socketable, but of course at the moment, well, we'll just see, so we'll see me do fire damage, see if that looks different, but the most important thing is that it is socketable. Now actually, this is a good time for me to use one of my fish. At least get the... Maybe that wasn't a good choice, because now it looks like the things that the goblins are using. That looks like the end of the line. What I need is some sort of healing, which means probably going back to town and getting some potions. So used to having to sell potions instead of buy them. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, that's alright. See, that's the thing. Using the... That probably wasn't such a good idea. Alright, now I got something mysterious on there. What was this mysterious item? A mysterious chest piece. So this is a particularly rare item. This is the Human Cultist chest. Requires a dexterity of... No, requires a defense of 12. So it's unlikely I'll be able to get that, but it is sweet for armor, defense, health, electric resistance, fire resistance, ice resistance. It's a wonderful piece if you have a decent defense. My defense right now is 6, so there's no way I'm going to be able to wear that thing. That's designed for your Berserker type. I'm about to hit level 3. Hopefully I can live that long. Oh. Oh, that's right, the 2 minutes. Because traditionally in these games, yeah.
Gain the level.
When you level, you fill your bubbles back up, so now I'm at full. That's good. Now, let's see. What fish should I try this time? Oh. Let's try that. Okay. The monster density also goes up a bit in hard mode, looks like. Well, at least I got a couple off that time. Your pet is fleeing, will no longer attack. That means that my pet was reduced down to 0 health. So that's what happens to your... Oh, that's just my pet fleeing, I guess. Alright. Alright. Now I've got a potion here. Now I've only got one of each potion, so I can't really give it to my pet. So it looks like I can identify a couple of rings, and that's a nice ring. Extra mana, and plus increased gold fine and faster cast speed. Both of them which are nice for casters. Good. Okay, and that rest helped my pet get back up to full health, it looks like. Alright, I'm starting to get potions now. Yep. This is a retreating battle, it looks like.
My mana is low.
Yeah, certainly is. Alright. Whew. Did I pick up anything there? A couple extra mana potions. That's just about it. Alright, what do we got here now? Just another quaff. Nothing really interesting. But I am starting to get potions again, which is good. I have to remember Now, this particular item, the area might also be a little bit tough because you've got someone helping you. But yeah, later on though, it is just as tough without the extra help. Right, so I think this is a good place for us to end this episode. But before we go, let's... Now sometimes I may do something different because of the situation or whatever, but if I have no other thing to do, I'll probably just pump one into each plus an extra into magic. Alright, here we go. Lore. Thorned minions. Your minions are imbued with... well, obviously it's a little while before I could do that. Nether Imp. Summon a maximum of one Nether Imp from the dormant energies of corpses. Okay, that gives me a little bit extra in fighting an Ember Shock is. In armor expertise. That's a little bit if I'm getting into and fighting face to face, and that helps in that matter. But let's bring in another imp. And I think, can I? Alright, so... oh, actually, let me see if I left click. Okay, that's it. That's right. You left click the item and it could bring it into there. Therefore, we have our Ember Bolt and our Nether Imp. And what I'm going to do is put my... well, how long does this last? This lasts... it doesn't say how long it lasts, so it probably might last just as long as it's around. Oh. Summons maximum one Nether Imp from the dormant energies. Where? Well, I don't see an imp around here. Oh, that's right. You need a body in order to do it. Oh, duh. Yes, of course. I need to... yes, that's what I needed to do. Just find a body there and then hit tab so I can get back to my basic item. Let's see how this goes. Oh, we have another foreman's table. Well, I bet I'll need to go back as soon as I finish this particular area. Make sure I don't hit that. No!
My
Opposite.
mana's low.
Entire point is I wanted to save that for the next episode, but that's right. I don't think you need to click on that. I think the items you need to click, but money you only have to run over. All right. So let me close that because I want to hit the foreman's table. Just identify scroll. Ooh, spell charm 1. What does this do? Hurls an enchanted sprite that attempts to force an enemy to temporarily fight on your side. Well, since... Right. So bring that in there. Anyway, so all the classes can use spells. Those are distinct from the skills because the skills are distinct for each class and spells are for any class. And actually, remember, this is where we'll have a break. And for our next episode, 12 Pine Leaf Blaze Torchlight.